Just go somewhere else. I can't take this nonsense anymore. How are you going to blame the defense?
I got the power. Screw green bean. Damn it.
But once you get to the sausage, I feel like we're doing something.
Go Jets.
What would you give up to see a Jets Super Bowl?
All of my friends and family.
Hit those milk thumbs, boys and girls.
Freeze run.
Hold on to your underwear, ladies, and stand by, bitches. It's now time for Talkin' Jets with your hosts, Matt, Ryan, and Greenbean.
Welcome to Talkin' Jets. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am joined alongside my lovely co-pilot, Mr. Matt O'Leary. To my this way, we're going to have Mr. Greenbean coming in with us in just a little bit, and he'll be on our that way. But Greenbean's got a little bit of flooding going on down in the Virginia area, so he said he's going to be a little bit late. I think, hopefully, his house and everything's fine, and he's not, like, you know, canoeing down to the live stream studio.
Can you imagine? Be like, because he has a big piece of property down there, so like it'd be like, I got to break out the kayak to get to the studio. Hang on, boys, I'll be right there.
That would be top tier commitment to the cause. Boys and girls out on your way in here, please hit that like button. It goes a long way towards telling people if this is a stream worth tuning in for. For every 10 likes we get on this video, when Greenbean gets here, he'll start picking out some qualifiers. We got our first person who's going to be getting a Dick Burger shirt. James won it last week. I did put through the order. I think it's going. I haven't seen any kickback to it yet as far as like them saying they're not going to print it. But if you go over to talkinjets.com, you can take a look at what the Dick Burger shirt looks like. I think it's pretty funny, but officially on the website as of last night. O'Leary, how you doing today? We got you for 4 more days of being single.
I know. I was gonna say I'm excited. It's been a hectic week. I'm still trying to put out as much content as I can this week, but full transparency, I'm running around like crazy, so the volume is not gonna be what a normal week is. But yeah, we're in the home stretch here. I'm like just trying to get through the next couple of days of stress of like the planning phase. Like we're just paying everyone out, making sure everything's in order. And I just want to get to, you know, rehearsal dinner Friday, Saturday, get to the wedding and just enjoy it, man. I'm so pumped to see you guys and just to celebrate and have a great time with everybody.
It's going to be so much fun, and I fully expect there to be at least one, maybe a few jet chants throughout the course of the night.
Oh, please.
It would be absolutely awesome. For those of you guys that don't know, Matt's getting married on Saturday. It's great. It's absolutely awesome. We've had a blast with it, my wife and I, and like she's my best friend. I legitimately love like hanging out with her, and it is so much fun. So you and Taylor are going to have the absolute best time. And then I think you're saying at some point in the future you were looking at doing a honeymoon. Not right now, right?
Yeah, over the summer. It's just that it's a tough time a year. You know, Taylor was very big on she wanted to get married in the fall, and I was like, as long as it's not on a Sunday, I don't care. We could pick any Friday or Saturday. I'm good with that. But for honeymoon, I had to wait to the summer. Still, you know, football season. This is my busy time, and then Taylor's audit accountant, and most of her clients file in March. So like right after the football season ends, she kind of gets into her busy season. So like we'll do something in the summer. We haven't even really planned it yet. But that's kind of like the last thing on our mind. So once we get through this wedding, then we can focus on shifting to where we're going to go this summer.
Well, it's going to be so much fun. I don't know if you heard this, Matt. We had a little bit of news drop this week. And it's something that I think a lot of us have been kind of calling for a little bit now, and that's Justin Fields no longer the starter for the New York Jets. We are moving on to Tyrod Taylor. So what are your thoughts on the move by the New York Jets and Aaron Glenn?
Yeah, I think this is something that had to happen, especially with how Fields has played for most of the last month, really. You know, really the only positive game we saw from him was against Cincinnati, who has a pretty horrific defense, but you know, he struggled against Cleveland. He struggled against Denver, Carolina, and then again against New England. Good first opening drive the Jets had against the Patriots, and then they just really, really struggled to do anything. Just a tough day all around for him. And I think what this season's really about, we've been saying it from the beginning, is an evaluation year. And it's become very, very hard to evaluate the offense and more specifically the play caller too, with the lack of passing attack that the Jets have. And, it's just not competitive when you're going into halftime with 30 passing yards. And look, I get it. They're not throwing the ball 45 times a game, but even if they're throwing it 20 times, he hasn't been efficient that way. And honestly, I don't know where you stand on this, but I think they really wanted to make this change going into the Cincinnati game, and Tyrod just wasn't healthy enough at that point. And Tyrod's finally healthy, and they're coming off a loss. They have a mini bye week with playing on Thursday. It feels like the perfect time to make a switch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Cincinnati game was probably when they wanted to get this done. And then you had the injury. They had the win against the Bengals. Then you get the win against the Browns. And it's kind of like this little bit of a feeling of like, maybe we're starting to get something going a little bit, even though the offense still wasn't looking like all that great to begin with. Yeah, I agree. I think this is the right move. I think the evaluation of both Tanner 𝐒𝐿 and the rest of the offense, I mean, these wide receiver twos that we're hoping could potentially be something, A.D. Mitchell, Mechie, Arian Smith, like all these guys deserve to have a competent play caller back there that can get the ball out with timing. A.D. Mitchell got open a whole bunch during the New England Patriots game, but had a bunch of drops. Some I put on Mitchell, but the placement of the ball or like the throws getting making him contort and whatnot, that's on Fields. And I want to see if I can at least feel comfortable that wide receiver 3 and 4 are locked down. Like I don't think anything I see through the rest of the season is going to prevent me from going wide receiver pretty early in next year's draft or looking for a wide receiver 2 in some capacity next offseason. But Justin Fields clearly isn't it. My concern, which isn't necessarily a big concern, I guess, is I don't trust Tyrod's health ultimately to like stay on the field. I think there's a pretty good likelihood that we are going to see Justin Fields again. Do you think that's going to be the case, or do you think it's a situation where they decide to see if Brady Cook has anything? I mean, like, is there anything that Brady Cook could even show you that would prevent you from going quarterback in the first round anyway?
No, not at all. But I do think there's value in seeing Brady Cook to see, like, can he be a backup for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're looking at maybe like the last 4 games of the year, right? There's 7 left, so Tyrod gets the next 3 or 4, and then you get maybe 3 or 4 games of Brady Cook. That'd be my preference, and I would start that like immediately and elevate Brady Cook to QB2 and start getting him as many reps there as you can in the coming weeks before, like you said, inevitably it just feels like Tyrod Taylor is going to get hurt. Like he's been banged up already this year to begin with, and throughout the course of his career, he's someone who, unfortunately, when on the field, I think is a really good spot starter. I think he's one of the better backup, bridge, spot starter, whatever label you want to toss on him. I think he fits that role really well. Unfortunately, though, as we pointed out, he does get hurt a lot. And, it wouldn't surprise me if that happens again. And I think you need Brady Cook ready. It just feels like the last few years, like we had this in 2022 and 2023, right? Like they pull Zach Wilson in 22, they go to Mike White, he gets hurt, and then they end up going back to Zach Wilson, and I think they went to even Joe Flacco after that. And then 23, they go to Tim Boyle and Trevor Siemian, and they're going to go back to Zach Wilson again. And then he's like, I'm reluctant to come in and play. And it was a whole big blow up. Now, I don't think Justin Fields would have any reluctance to go back into the lineup. I just feel like, I don't know, he's a good guy and a good teammate. Like I have nothing against Justin Fields, the person. I just don't think he's performed at a level that's, good enough right now in this offense. So I think we're going to see some Brady Cook here at the end of the year.
See our good buddy Green Bean in the chat. He says, I'll trade up with a mouse. I'll trade up in a house. I'll trade up with a mouse in a house with my spouse. Referring to our poll question. Poll question in there, if you guys would like to vote on it. Would you trade up, if needed, for Mendoza or Simpson? 54% of the chat currently says yes. 46% says no. I'm sure that'll change a little bit as we go through here. You guys can vote on that and let us know your thoughts. And we'll get into it when Green Bean comes in here with us and whatnot. But Green Bean, hope you're doing all right and you brought your water wingies and you're able to get to wherever you got to be. Probably commenting via mobile right now. But yeah, Justin Fields, no longer starter. Tyrod Taylor, how long can it last for? I do like that he's in place. It does seem like you can evaluate a little bit more, like playing on script, being able to push the ball downfield. Like, for whatever reason, Justin Fields was like risk adverse or absolutely did not want to push the ball down the field. I think that's where you can see some of this 4.3 speed from some of these quicker wide receivers that we brought in. Oh, and here we go. We got our buddy.
There he is.
I got him. Well, his camera's not pointing at the right thing yet. So we'll let him adjust that.
There he is. Look
There
at that
we
handsome
go.
beast.
There's that green bean feller. He doesn't have his audio hooked up.
Yeah.
Woo!
What's up, Bean?
Why not start with the camera facing the ceiling? You know what I mean? Why not?
Green Bean, it looks like you finished up a day at the ranch with your outfit today.
Yeah, Ryan.
This is what I look like in real life
Yeah.
I love it.
nowadays. I'm hanging out with the blue collar folks down here in fucking Virginia, man. That's what I'm doing. Look at my
love it.
arms and shit. They're all fucking
Chewed
beat
up,
and see it. Look at me.
like tackling
Now,
some
either
chickens.
either I'm on a lot of heroin or I'm working with trees.
I'm gonna
One
go
or
with the
the other.
latter. Are you taking down? Are you taking down trees? Like, what's the? What are you working on?
Yeah. So I'm working with a let me move this over here so I can look straight. Yeah, we go. Yeah, so I'm working during the day with a tree guy. So we go to, like today we took down a bunch of these fucking massive poplars, so we fell them, so they fall down, and then we chop them up and put them in a chipper and take the logs and put them in the truck and fucking dump them, that whole thing. That's what I'm doing.
I love it. We had a
Getting
few
my
trees
body into it, guys. I haven't been blue collar in honestly, let's just call it 20 years,
I'm not very blue collar. I live in the sticks, but I'm not super like woodsy or anything. Like,
Yeah.
I'll go
I don't
chop
know,
a
I'm
tree
kind of
down,
liking it.
cut some
I'm
firewood.
liking it.
I like
Yeah.
that stuff.
Dude, I have access to so much wood. Like, I literally said this. I said this sentence this morning to the guy I'm working for. If anybody's got wood, it's you, man. I literally said that today.
That's great.
I love it.
How you guys doing? Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. Yeah, it was all kinds of detours and weird shit. I got detoured earlier. So like I got a certain now remember, like I don't live like where you guys live where there's like a grid. Like if this street's blocked, you go to the next street and you're good. Like it's not like that here. It's all mountainy and you're a little bit, Ryan. You know,
Yeah, if there's a detour here, sometimes it takes a minute.
Yeah.
to
So
go
I
around.
so I went so far, and then so the detour wasn't just like make a left. I had to go back. So I had to go back, and then I got behind this ambulance where there was an older, like probably like in her 80s, like a white-haired lady in the ambulance facing back. So they were treating her, and I got behind them. So they're taking turns all gingerly, and like you want to be frustrated because they're going like 15, 20 miles an hour below the speed limit, but you can't. You're like, you want them to not drive like assholes with her in the car, in the ambulance.
Yeah.
But it was like 40 minutes behind her. It took like what would have been a 30-minute drive, and it made it a 55-minute drive. So it was like, it's fucking aggravating. But
It's like driving with a large cup of coffee without the lid on it. You gotta drive gingerly.
you gotta be
spill.
careful, man. Right, So I caught myself a couple times like getting frustrated, and I'd be like, no, you're in full support of them taking good care of that woman. Okay, right. I forgot for a second, But here I am. So I only was about 12 minutes late, so not too bad.
We'll take it. We'll take any time we can get with Green Bean. Matt and I were
Oh,
just
I
talking
love
about Justin Fields getting benched, our thoughts on that, and what we expect maybe the rest of the season. That was the big news that we heard the other day. So what are your thoughts, Bean, on Fields? No longer starter.
I just finished earlier, maybe an hour or two ago, a video by the great Matt O'Leary talking about the proposition, the Connor Hughes discussion about Brady Cook, which I think is interesting because, like, at this point, right, I think it's important. Like, look, Justin Fields, he has his moments, right? He does. He has his moments. But if we just cut the shit and not allow this whole Zach Wilson thing to come back, like this argument that like, well, if they did this, then Zach would look, dude, Yes, there are other people having difficulties at times as well. Yes, the defense. Yes, Rucker John. Yes, 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐞𝐞𝐽. Yes, 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 yes. That's all part of it. But can we just stop and look at Justin Fields and just be objective? This isn't our boyfriend or girlfriend. This isn't somebody we're emotionally. He's not very good. Can we just say that? He's not very good.
Fair.
So pulling him back at this point and saying Tyrod Taylor will be able to at least allow us to look more closely at 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐞𝐞, at John Mechie, at Arian Smith, at the tight ends. Let's see, if things are open. Like, because look, they're looking at the coach's film too after the game, right? They say it all the time. We got to look at the tape. They're looking at it and they're seeing, hey man, if he would have just not, like, Justin Fields has this propensity to need to, and Zach Wilson did the same thing, where they need to see the guy open before they're willing to let it go. And that, it's just not going to fly, dude. Like, because by the time you do that, the timing's off. And then when they are open, they're open in that window. Then you let it fly. The safety gets over. It's this whole thing that we've been talking about forever. So Tyrod Taylor might be able to give us an opportunity to look at some of these guys that going into next year, look, we have an offseason. We're going to have $90-something million. We have a number of first-round picks and second-round picks, and then the whole plethora of late-round picks. What are we going to use them on? What do we need to prioritize? Well, maybe if John Mechie and 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐞𝐞, if we feel like they're legit and we feel like, hey, getting one wide receiver in here, that caps the room, and maybe we can move some of these more premium assets to a different position, that kind of a thing. We're not going to do that with Justin Fields. We're just going to argue if 120 fucking yards is enough. You know what I mean? Well, his 120, he did break 100 yards. Like, what are we talking about already, So I like the idea, though, getting to the original point where get Taylor in there. Let's look at these guys. Let's settle the offense down. And then maybe the last handful of games, you throw Brady Cook in there, because everybody and their mother knows, even if Tyrod Taylor comes in and plays lights out, he's not our long-term solution. So let's see, hey, maybe we got a little something in this Brady Cook character where next year you can, feel like, hey, we can continue to develop this guy, and maybe we got our backup. You know what I mean? Maybe we feel confident that if we do use a number one pick on a quarterback, when if he goes down for a week, we actually feel comfortable turning to Brady Cook instead of having to bring in another vet or what have you, So I like that idea. I think going to Tyrod is a smart move at this juncture. And I like the idea, and I hope it happens, that maybe the last 3-4 games even, we're taking a look at Brady Cook. And like Matt mentioned, similar to, a la Bryce Petty. Bryce Petty showed us, hey guys, I want you to know I don't belong here. He showed us that. And it was really good to know. That was very valuable information, So anyway, I like all that. So I think it's a smart move right now. I don't like, somebody said to me, or just today, or maybe it was last night on Twitter, I think it was Twitter or Instagram, they said, dude, now we got a real shot to take him to make a playoff, like to try to see if we can. I'm like, I mean, technically, yes, but that's not where I landed.
9-8. The road to 9-8 starts on Sunday, baby.
It does, Matt. It really does. But, it's a long shot.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm banking on many wins even with this change. I think we're probably going to see a few more turnovers from Tyrod, but I think it'll be a more entertaining game. You'll actually see the offense move around a little bit more. Like, you might get 200 yards passing out of Tyrod. Yeah, it's frustrating to see what we've seen. You said he cracked 100. Talking about Justin Fields, I mean, the fact that we're even like excited about that. How many games did he have under 54 yards?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
It's 4 or 5 games. It's insane,
dude. It's crazy. We were talking about this last week, before this amazing game that he had this week, where like we didn't know that we could go lower than we've never seen a season like this. Like, we've had Zach, we've had Bryce Petty, we've had Tim Boyle, we've had Simeon and Luke Falk and fucking, you go back to Bubby Brister, which is before you guys, I think. Bubby Brister and Frank Reich and all that kind of stuff. You didn't know that we could have a season where, like, numerous games, the quarterback threw for 50 yards. And like we talked about the one game, what was it with again? Maybe it was even I guess we won the Browns game where if without Breece Hall, the fucking 42-yard screen, our quarterback threw for 12 yards an entire game. Entire game of football, NFL football, 12 yards. So, like, dude, it's just unacceptable. I don't really give a fuck what the variables are around it, dude. You know what I mean? I really don't care. 12 yards, not enough. Like, can we all just stand there confidently and go, we agree, right? 12 yards not enough, right? You too? Like, truther, anti, homer, hater, like, can we all just say 12 yards not enough? Can we do that? You know? So, yeah, man. It's crazy, Brian.
I can't imagine we have a crazy ton of Fields truthers. I know there's a few out there that think I feel like it's people that haven't watched the team, guys that have like box score watch, and they're like, oh, hey, he's got one interception and all these touchdowns. You know, sure, the yardage isn't there, but it's clearly the Jets' O-line or their weapons or their defense isn't good. And like, you know, you just kind of hear all that stuff. It's like, no. We watch the game. We clearly see like the balls are missing the mark. He's clearly not seeing open wide receivers. Like the problem feels very clearly that it's quarterback, which gives me a little bit of solace. I'll be honest. Like some of the other games we've been watching, if the quarterback is clearly the issue, I do feel good about the offensive line. I feel good about Breece and bringing him back. I feel good about, you know, the potential of some of these wide receivers. Like I know we've only seen A.D. Mitchell for like a game, but he's getting open. Like at the very least, if the ball's in the right spot, maybe he could be a, you know, wide receiver 3 and Mechie could be wide receiver 4 or vice versa or whatever. I think being able to grade him, and also like 𝐒𝐿𝐵, Matt brought it up earlier, we do want to kind of figure out what this guy has and can he not necessarily develop a quarterback right away, but like be able to call a game that makes sense for the quarterback that's in there. And, you know, a lot of that really hinges on having a competent quarterback to begin with. As far as Brady Cook goes, I'll be honest, I really don't care if we see him at all. It'd be more like pure entertainment. Like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, it's different. Like, I know Tyrod is not the answer long term. Like, could he re-sign next year as our, you know, bridge quarterback? Yeah, entirely possible. I think I'm more in line with maybe bringing in another veteran presence in some capacity. I really like Gardner Minshew as a potential option for us as a free agent. I think that would be sort of fun. And then going to the draft, looking to get your guy.
Well, think about this though, Ryan. Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Just on that point, I also watched a Jet Central video earlier today, and Ian had a really great point, which was like, all right, the Jets are more than likely going to try to make a push to retain Breece Hall, right? Mm-hmm. We all agree. I think that's that's likely. One of the questions that Breece Hall's team, his camp, is likely to ask is, what's the plan at quarterback before I sign here? Because remember, he's an unrestricted free agent. Now, yes, we can franchise and we can do that whole thing, but he can essentially choose where he wants to go, right? And again, franchise aside, and we can get into that whole fucking throwing stones and all that kind of stuff if we want to, but we're going to want to just say, hey, we'd like to extend you. He's going to say, okay, I'm interested. What's the plan at quarterback? So when you say what you just said, which is, I'd like to get a veteran bridge if the quarterback's not in this draft or whatever. Mm-hmm. What could you say to, like, look at it through that lens and think, what can I say to Breece Hall that would get him to go, okay, I'll sign back on to this terrible organization, which has been misery for 4 years. I'm willing to re-up and sign for 3 more years because of this plan. What could we say to him that gets him to do that through the quarterback, like in that quarterback conversation from your point of view? So
I think it really depends if there's going to be like a bigger name guy that could be available via trade. Like if Stroud becomes available, if Burrow or someone like that, you know, waives their no trade clause and they want to become available, that's an easy conversation from there. I think the more likely route we're going to go is franchise tag Breece, and it's the like idea of, hey, look, we're trying to get our young quarterback. You're a key piece to this, you know, party moving forward. We are going to try and win as many games as possible. we're just trying to kind of figure it out. If you want to sign long term after we get our quarterback, like this might be a summer move. It might be a Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner. Hey, we've signed a long term contract. Prior to the season, we've ripped up the franchise tag. It's no longer there. Like that's more so how I see it. I think us tagging him to be able to say, hey, you're not going anywhere. Let's figure out this plan together. Maybe a player becomes available post June 1st, and you want to make a trade for a player then. I think that could happen as well. Now the Jets hopefully will have players kind of in place at the quarterback position prior to that. I hear the kids going a little bit, so I'm going to go step out and help real quick if you guys want to continue this conversation.
Yeah, Matt. What would you say? What would you think?
It's a really hard sell because they don't have that answer, right? And I was just, while you guys were talking, I was pulling up the free agent quarterback options, and it's not great, to be honest with you, Green Bean. You have Daniel Jones, who I don't know if he would want to come back to New York regardless. Aaron Rodgers, LOL. Russell Wilson, Mariota, Taylor, Zach Wilson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Jimmy G, Mitch Trubisky. Like those are some of the top names in free agency. Gardner Minshew, who Ryan mentioned. I think it's going to be really hard without drafting a quarterback this year. I don't know if you can get him to sign and be like, yeah, we're just going to go best available in the draft. And, we're going to wait until 2027 to make our move for our quarterback. That to me, it would be a very tough sell, not only on Breece, but honestly, like any free agent, especially external free agent, unless you're just tossing them money and saying, we will pay you more than any other team. And maybe that's enough to keep these guys around. But if the money's close, I don't think he's taking a hometown discount to play with Gardner Minshew next year.
Nope. And I agree. And that's the thing, like Ryan mentioned Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has a no trade clause, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, Matt, if you were a betting man, which you kind of are, would you put your money on the idea that Joe Burrow would waive his no trade clause to come to the New York Jets?
Not likely. No. Now, like, beggars can't be choosers. Like if he wants out, the teams that need quarterbacks usually aren't very good because they need a quarterback. But like, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers retires, Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. I'd rather go to Pittsburgh than I would the Jets. I'm sorry.
I'd rather go there. Or like, look, I want out of Cincinnati, but like, look, the grass is always greener. So you go, I want out of here. And they go, great, take a look. And you look around and you're like, wait a minute. They don't have T. Higgins and fucking Jamar Chase over there. They don't, you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden you can start to realize that my current situation might not be as bad as some other situations in the NFL, I just don't see it. Like, so we're talking about, when we're talking about, I just don't think Joe Burrow is real.
I agree with you.
I could be proven wrong. The truth is I don't really want Joe Burrow, and it's not because I don't love him. And I don't think he's a true badass, which he is. But he's been injured now twice in a short career. I mean, what is he? 6 years, 5 years, 6?
2020 draft. So I guess this is his 6th season.
Yes, this is his 6th season. He's had 2 season-ending injuries. Again, like I said, I am of the school of thought that every general manager and every head coach we've ever had and our owners still, they don't factor in that we are the New York fucking Jets.
Yes.
Into all their decisions, you must factor in that we are the Jets. We can't take the risks that other teams take. You can't take that shot. You're like, hey, man, well, maybe it'll work out. It doesn't work out here. You got to go in with extra depth, extra caution. Like, we don't seem to understand that. And so grabbing a Joe Burrow, granted, our offensive line, I am of the thinking right now. I love our offensive line, and I think they're only going to get better. Like, this is their first year ever playing together. Like, the good news is it sucks that AVT went down because it would really been nice to see what we, but they planned it well because we were able to move forward without skipping a beat. Now, granted, what's behind this, we don't want to see, I think, but seeing this offensive line, like we have the makings right now of an offensive line that in year 2, year 3, playing again, they can be a true juggernaut. Like this offensive line is badass and has real potential. So that could be something like, obviously that's going to bode well for a quarterback with an injury history, but I just don't like it. I don't the MetLife turf. You know what I mean, Matt? There's just so much.
And
here.
also, in addition to that, which I agree with all of what you just laid out, why would they sell off Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner and then trade for a quarterback that's win now? Right? Like Joe Burrow, if you're moving for Joe Burrow, that is pushing your chips to the table and going for it like they did with Aaron Rodgers. And the rest of the roster is not in that spot. So it just like the timing of all of this, in addition to the injury concern, in addition to all the draft capital you'd have to give up. And like you said, I love Joe Burrow. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in this league.
No doubt.
And, I'm sure, people are going to make the case, well, if you get the quarterback, like just figure out the rest on the fly. I think that's a really, really hard thing for this team to do. And I just think Glenn and 𝐒𝐮𝐬 are going to want to get their own guy through the draft. And, maybe they surprise us and go the veteran route and it's someone we don't expect. But I don't think they make all these moves to then just trade for somebody else's guy, even if it is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, and I think it's less of a win now thing than Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers was 39 years old, right? So there's that, but you're right. It has that to it, that kind of tone to it. Now you could make the argument though that like with Garrett Wilson, look, let's say the last, how many weeks we have left in this season? What is it?
7 games.
So we got 7 games. Let's say in this last 7 games, we find out that one of, if not both, of Ty Simpson, of 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 and Ty Simpson. 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 and 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 Mitchell. And then maybe even Arian Smith. But like one of, if not a collection of those guys, show that, hey man, we're gonna factor all these guys in. We have a wide receiver 3 and 4 and 5. Like the rest of the, we'd like to bring in one, like a real nice, maybe second roundish wide receiver 2. But like Garrett Wilson, draft pick, 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐿 Mitchell, John Mechie, Arian Smith, they look good. Like this looks like a legit wide receiver. Let's say we figured that out. And let's say Mason Taylor really steps up and like kind of takes a step and shows us, because we see the potential. But let's say this next 7 weeks, he really takes a step forward and we're like, we got our tight end 1, and we feel good about Breece Hall, Braylon Allen's coming back. So we got the line, we got most of our wide receiver room built, you got the strong running back room, and you got your tight end 1 and maybe Ruckert's a part of that as whatever as well, and you can supplement and add to it in the draft. Maybe the idea of trading for a Joe Burrow doesn't look so desperate. It doesn't look so, kind of like we were going to do with Kirk Cousins a number of years back. We had nothing. It was like we were hoping Cousins comes here and just miraculously raises the talent level of everybody around him. But maybe Joe Burrow doesn't look so crazy in that, because what we see the last 7 weeks with the wide receiver room and everything else are laid out. So maybe. But Matt, I have to tell you, people are saying the quarterback isn't in this draft. I don't know if I agree. Now, I think you got to be up top. You're not going to win the next 7 games, you know what I mean? Or 5 of the next 7 games. But if you're at pick 3 and you feel like, hey, I got to give up one of next year's first to get up and get Mendoza, fucking do it. Like that.
If you're that confident in the guy, yeah.
Yeah. But I think I would be like, I think if you're able to get Simpson or Mendoza in this draft, I see no reason. Every year, the first round quarterback is a question mark. Like we're doing a weird thing this year, Matt. We're like when we made the trades, there was all this emphasis on, well, now you got to make the picks. Like, no shit. Why are we talking about this for 2 weeks? Like, of course, I don't know if I trust this general manager with our picks. Well, since when? Like, of course, like why there's like I think we've gotten more semantically oriented, like where of course the general manager has to make pick, of course. So I think like every rookie quarterback is going to be a question mark. It doesn't matter who it is, fucking from Trevor Lawrence to Drake May to Jackson Dart. It doesn't matter who it is. they're a question mark. But again, like if you have a lot of your offense built and you feel like, hey man, if I can get Mendoza or Simpson, I can run my offense. And I'm talking from from Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engstrand's point of view. Get me Mendoza, get me Ty Simpson. I can run my offense here and we can develop this kid. Then I say do it. I would much rather go that route than go for a Joe Burrow or whatever. Because I think Joe Burrow is a pipe dream. Again, waiving trade clause to come here and all that kind of stuff. But if you could, it's whatever. But I think the idea that the quarterback's not in this draft, I don't agree unless we're at pick 14.
Yeah.
So did you guys start going with 𝐒𝐵oogie's super chat, or you guys just kick it around?
No.
Okay.
No, I can't shut up for fucking 30 seconds.
It's all right.
I talk. I didn't shut up.
It's all right. Hey, it's totally fine. So 𝐒𝐵oogie comes in. He says, "Freeze green bean."
What?
Bye.
Oh, there it goes.
Name your top 5 quarterbacks you are willing to trade for. So I'm going to use a little creative license on this, and I think this is probably saying who would you trade for that's currently in the league, but I'm gonna expand on that. I'm cool with trading up for either Mendoza or Ty Simpson. Obviously, I hope we don't have to give up much to do it, or I hope we don't have to do it at all. But like Green Bean was kind of saying, I do think one of those 2 quarterbacks would fit here. I think Mendoza is the one I feel more comfortable with than Ty Simpson. The lack of starts would be the concerning part. I would say maybe I'm a little less inclined to want to trade up for Simpson and more inclined for Mendoza. As far as guys like in the league that I'd be willing to trade for, I think Burrow's a pipe dream. I think Herbert's a pipe dream. I think there's an outside shot maybe at Stroud, but I don't really know what world that has to, like what world you're living in and what the Texans would plan to do at quarterback in that sort of scenario. That sort of throws me for a little bit of a loop in that logic. I think Trevor Lawrence probably is unlikely to get moved. And then beyond that, like honestly, Dom and I were talking about before. I saw him commented in the chat earlier. Tanner McKee out of Philly is someone I really like. Last year of his deal, it's just a matter of how much you'd have to give up to get him. We don't have a 3rd round pick, which is probably around the sweet spot I'd like to do. 4th round pick would then be like my next thought. And then maybe it's like, maybe it's a 4th and a conditional pick or something like that. And maybe he could be the bridge. And I'm sitting there happy with that. I don't particularly want to go after Mac Jones. I understand why people may want to do that. Kirk Cousins, I think, is probably going to get cut, so I don't think you're going to need to trade for him if he did want to come here. I like Gardner Minshew as a free agent option. I think that's probably more where I would steer because I think the rookie quarterback is just more appealing in my mind. So I don't know. Top 5 quarterbacks I'm willing to trade for in no particular order: Stroud, Tanner McKee, and then the pipe dreams of like Burrow, Herbert. I don't want Kyler, so Mendoza would be the other trade up. Matt, what about you? What's your thought process?
Yeah, I was going to take a totally different approach on this one. Just because, like Green Bean and I, while you were gone, we spent a lot of time talking about Joe Burrow and how we like the player, but don't, 1, think it's realistic anyway, and 2, I don't think it lines up timeline-wise with the Jets. So if we're talking trades, I would be looking at, like, bridge option trades that you're either trading for someone and drafting a guy in 2027 or like whatever. And those names are in no order: Tanner McKee, Mac Jones, Jacoby Brissett, like guys like that who you kind of just feel like you could be semi-normal and hold it down, and we don't have to worry about our quarterback throwing for 20 yards in a half or even a game at some points. I don't know if there's 5 guys on the list, honestly. Like, again, would I love to watch Joe Burrow on the Jets? Of course. I think he's an awesome quarterback, but I just don't know, A, if it's realistic, or B, if it makes all that much sense with the Jets going through this rebuild, because that's what it is. I think if you trade Sauce Gardner and Quentin Williams, you are saying that we are rebuilding. And trading for Joe Burrow, like, I get it, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's also not 23 years old. He's 30. Like, this is not someone who's going to be the quarterback for, 12 years, and he has an injury history too. I guess, perfect world, you're hoping for 6 to 8 years, but that's not guaranteed for a 30-year-old quarterback with injury history.
Bean, what about you? What are your thought processes on wanting to trade for a quarterback? Who would your top guys be?
Well, the truth is I don't want to trade for a quarterback. I don't like you meant, look, Joe Burrow, I just don't think it's real. Like, we can talk about it if we want. Like, look, when you're alone at night, there's nobody around, and you got your little computer and you're thinking about feeling frisky, you can go into any world you want. You can pretend you're a debonair. You know what I mean? You can you can make fantasies, we call them, right? You could do anything you want. But when you're done, you're alone in your studio apartment, and you got fucking Kraft mac and cheese in the cabinet and fucking stale, sour milk and whatever, that's real. And I prefer to live in reality. Again, if we wanted to, what would you do if you won $1 million? Oh, we could do that for a little while, but we got to know that none of us have $1 million, and we're not getting the new Mercedes Maybach, and we're not, we got to remember. So we could talk about it if we want, but I don't like to put too much stock in it, because I think there are so many reasons why that wouldn't happen, that there are more than reasons that it would and could, If most of all, Joe Burrow has a no trade clause, why on earth would he waive it to come here to the land of dead quarterbacks? Let me go to the quarterback graveyard. Even Aaron Rodgers came here and with Devontae Adams, and they got 5 wins, dude. You know what I mean? He's not coming. We got to start fresh. So, and like you said, like Kyler Murray, I mean, look, if you're talking about trading a 4th for Kyler Murray, and you can get him, and kind of, you gotta, you're still able to draft a 1st-round quarterback, and you got Kyler Murray, and your competition and the whole thing, and then you're able to kind of slow roll the kid. Am I 100% against that? No. But again, when you look at it through the question I asked before, what's going to keep Breece Hall? What's going to get free agents here? We got $90 million, and I don't want to go all the way back. While I'm not afraid to overpay a little bit, because, to kind of get things going, like if you got to break out that extra $1 million to beat out the fucking Colts or whatever, okay, do it. But I don't want to go all the way back to paying the Jets tax when we were just, like the CJ Mosley deal is a fantastic one. At the time, $12 million was the highest paid linebacker in the NFL. We paid him 17.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? That's
That contract
$5
was
million.
absurd.
That's like, that's like a 40-something% increase. That's not, and remember, Avery Williamson said the same thing. He said he was about to sign with the Colts or whatever it was, maybe the Titans, the Colts, I forget. And he said the Jets came in at the last minute with an offer that was so ridiculous, I had to take it. Like, it was like, oh my God. Like, they paid, it was like 30% more or some crazy shit. So I don't want to go all the way back to that. So if you don't have an attractive scenario here, people aren't coming unless you do that. And I don't want to, when you do that overpay thing, you got guys that they're mercenaries. They're sellswords if you're in the Game of Thrones world, right? I mean, where my Games of Thrones girls at? Yo, right? Like that kind of thing. They call them sellswords, So when you have a sellsword, when you have a mercenary, when the going gets rough, they're out. They're a paid hand. They'll play as hard as is warranted for the money. You know what I mean? And when if you need a leader, they're not here for leadership. They're not. So I don't want to get into that muck. Like, you got to do this the right way. So is Kyler Murray moving the needle? Is Carson Wentz moving? Is fucking, all these guys, like all these names that you have, Marcus Mariota. Hey, Breece Hall's camp says, what's your plan? All right, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go out there and we're going to be real aggressive players in the Marcus Mariota sweepstakes. He's going to go, peace. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do it. So we got to say, hey, look, we got the number 2 overall pick. We're comfortable there, but we might even fucking trade up to number 1. We're getting our guy. Plus, we also got a 4th rounder going out to the Cardinals. We're going to bring in Kyler Murray as backup. He'll go, oh, okay, now we're talking. And we got Brady Cook, who played the last 4 games and has a 66.9% completion percentage and a 102 QBR. You know what I mean? Something like that. And we're going to be developing him. Oh, okay. Now we're talking. Like, you gotta, like, it's enough. Enough of this 100 yards is okay. Enough of this. If we just had these things going on and they put Zach in a better position, no, enough. We can see everybody's not dumb and everybody's tired. And that includes the actual players. Quinnen Williams asked to be let go. Get me out of here, please, coach. Please, Woody, please. And they did, and you saw him last night. He was delighted to the tune of 6 pressures, 2 quarterback hits, and a sack and a half. And you know what I mean? He's happy as a pig in shit. And that's the thing. We have to get that back here by being honest with ourselves. Going out there and fucking trading a 1st-round pick, whatever, some crazy shit for Kyler Murray ain't doing it, dude. It's not enough. It's not enough to move the needle. Kyler Murray comes here as the answer. That kid's going to get squashed and sucked into the swamp that is the New York Jets in a matter of 4 weeks. He's going to already be done. Guaranteed.
Would you trade up? So our poll question right now, would you trade up for either one of Mendoza or Simpson?
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a
100%.
specific guy, but would you make a move up?
100%. 100%. Now, and I'll admit, I didn't do my whole postseason thing that my evaluation thing that I do, but I've been watching and just like in a general sense, right? So I think Mendoza and Simpson are legit. We'll see who else kind of bubbles up and all that kind of stuff when we're talking about it in the offseason. But I think they're legit. I mean, I also listened to some interviews with Mendoza, also Simpson too. I tell you what, Mendoza in particular, he's striking to listen to. There's something very crisp about him. He's not like his intelligence comes across very, very quickly, but it's not that locked in intelligence that he's like a human. He's a person. You know what I mean? You can see that he's able to communicate. So incredibly important. Look at our quarterback right now. Do you feel like he's a great communicator? I don't. No. Did you think Zach Wilson was a fucking great communicator? I never did. Not from day one all the way to the last day. Never, not one time did I feel like Zach Wilson was an inspirational guy or a great communicator. He's just not, right? And it's time that our quarterback is. So when you look at things like intelligence, communication, his release is exceptional. I love a quick release, confidence, and his ability to process. The problem with Justin Fields right now, and we're talking about it all over the place, is that he cannot, the reason he's a one-read quarterback, essentially, is because he can't process it in the time allotted, which is 2.6 seconds. That's the time you have to scan the field, make your decision, and go and commit and make a move. He can't do that. You need somebody who can. Mendoza has all that stuff. So to your question, am I willing to trade up? The answer is absolutely, unequivocally yes. Now, I hope that we're not at pick 14 and that you have to give away, because then it's impossible. Like, you can't justify giving away everything that you just got for them. You can't. You can't justify that. But giving away, whatever. Like, if we're at pick 3 and you're just like, hey, we're not confident here, somebody's going to leapfrog us, and you got to give away, pick 3 this year, 2nd, and next year 2nd or something like that, then do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think commit, take out your testicles, put them right on the table and say, this is it. We're doing this and we're committing and we're getting it done. I don't give a shit. I'm not playing this game anymore. We're going to fucking win.
I like that. I like the aggression, Green Bean. The chat seems 50-50 on this. 50-50.
Okay.
Don't want to trade. Some want to trade. I definitely understand the appeal of not wanting to move up. I think the outlook of our schedule, and we'll get over to the tankathon and look at like the remaining games for some of the other teams in a little bit. But big game coming up this weekend between the Raiders and Browns. I think we kind of want the Raiders to win almost, because the Browns have some other games that they're playing that seem a little winnable, but we'll get into that in a little bit, and we'll see where the Jets kind of shake out here. RTS says, how do you feel about giving Brady Cook a shot? Cool. I don't care, like, at all. Like, I really don't. Like, I could care less if he's on the team next year. I'll be perfectly honest. You know, if he's here, cool. If the Jets were like, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to get, you know, like being said, like a mid-round pick for Kyler Murray, and we're going to draft a quarterback, or if you want to bring in Gardner Minshew and draft a quarterback, like that's more where my focus is. Quarterback 3 is, you know, practice squad at best for me. So I don't care if we see Brady Cook. Matt, what would you say on Brady Cook?
I'm okay if they give him a chance, but if we get to the end of the year and Tyrod Taylor just starts the next 7 games and doesn't get hurt, I'm not flipping out like the Jets just wasted this grand opportunity to see Brady Cook. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what it comes to, like, would I rather see Brady Cook than going back to Justin Fields? At this point, yes, I would. But if Tyrod's just going to be healthy and they're like running a normal offense and we feel pretty good about Tanner Engstrand, then I'm not going at, you know, Tyrod, I know you played pretty well the last 4 weeks, but we got to see this Brady Cook guy. I'm not there.
Ian, how about you? How do you feel about Brady Cook?
Like I was saying before, I like the idea of him starting that last batch of games. I do. I'm not the biggest Brady Cook guy. Like, you know, like we've talked about it like during the preseason. You know, I didn't see a lot of what everybody else saw, but he did have. And Matt will know better than me, maybe you, but I forget his completion percentage. But it was good. It was like it was nice. It was solid. You know, something
talking about Brady Cook?
he did. Yeah. Like he did enough that it's like, okay, let's take a look at him. But like Matt just nailed it. Like he said it so perfectly. Like, yes, I would like to. But if the chips fall in a way that it's like we just don't get to see him, I'm not upset like I was when they fucking wasted Kenny Yeboah's 5 years. You know what I mean? Like I thought we should have saw a lot more of Yeboah. But you know, if we don't see Brady Cook, we don't see Brady Cook. You know what I mean?
Let's see if
what are we looking at here?
This is Brady Cook's PFF from preseason. So let me move this out of the way so we can see Green Bean. So he really didn't have like a whole crazy ton in there. He had 8 attempts in the first preseason game, 11 attempts in the second preseason game, and then the third preseason game against Philly, it was basically all him. Not a whole lot there. He had 62 yards, 74 yards, 99 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Adjusted completion percentage, pretty solid, 77%. 2 drops were attributed to the receivers during that time. But like, again, I'm not going crazy one way or the other, whether we see him or not. I don't think this stat line through a preseason is enough to make me feel warm and fuzzy one way or the other. I'll be honest, I didn't particularly think he played well in the preseason, the games I watched from.
Me neither. I didn't love it, right?
He was very okay against the second and third team defenses that he won against.
Yeah, I would say that's probably an accurate way to put that. Ablab dropping in with a big dick super chat. Thanks so much, Ablab. Drops a 50 spot. Says, gang, can we see our remaining schedule? And can you great dudes handicap our record so we can have an idea of where we pick in the draft? Thanks.
Oh, I like this idea.
Let's head over there. I like where this is
What
going.
is he saying? Wait.
He's saying, let's see. Where is this? Rooting. Strength of schedule tiebreaker rooting. Oh, what? Is this new? I don't think this was here last year.
I don't know. I've never seen that tab before, but
so we can pick the Jets and then
What the fuck is
let's say
What's up,
Cleveland.
Ablab? Good to see you, buddy. Let me
Let's go
see. What
Cleveland. I'm
he's
just
saying.
curious. Rooting guide. So who we need to root for each week. Oh, that's fun.
That's pretty helpful.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think we just take a look at the Jets' remaining schedule and see how many wins we're looking at and roughly where that would put them.
Yeah, there's a remaining strength of schedule. Here we go. Okay. So the Jets' easiest games are these 4 right here. You got the Saints, Falcons, Dolphins, and Baltimore, which calling Baltimore an easier game and having the Jaguars as a not easy game is fucking insane to me. That's absolutely Looney Tunes. But the Jaguars just took it to took the Chargers to church. They absolutely beat the snot out of them. Of our remaining schedule, I would say the Dolphins, Falcons, and Saints are the three teams I'm most concerned about. I think I think the Falcons and the Dolphins the most so. I think the Saints are starting to catch a little bit of, getting a little bit of a rhythm. The Falcons, I don't know what to make of Kirk Cousins starting now, Penix being knocked out for a 5th season-ending surgery. Like, that's crazy to me.
Brutal.
No Drake London. So I think we wind up with 2 more wins. That would sort of be my guess. Jets finish with a 4-win season. Matt, how do you feel about the Jets' remaining schedule currently?
Yeah, so I think the games that I will classify as gettable are the 4 in a row against Atlanta, Miami, Jacksonville to a lesser extent, but I'm going to include them in New Orleans. I don't think they have a chance against Baltimore, nor do I think they have a very good chance against New England or Buffalo, who's going to have to play for something in that last week of the season, right? Yeah, I think they get 2. I'm going to say they get the 2 at home against Atlanta and Miami.
Yep. I'm in complete agreement. The one thing I will say about Baltimore, though, like, they did have a hard time beating the Browns. Like that, it is a very
Myles
funky
Garrett
team.
had a million sacks.
Yeah, it is a very funky team to watch. Bean, what about you? Our remaining games.
What you're looking at the draft order? What I can't
No.
for some reason feel.
Do you see what I highlighted here? These are the
Yeah,
remaining games for each team. So the Jets,
Yeah, that's
they rank the left side as the hardest teams, the right side as the easiest teams. So in this chart, the Jets' hardest games are against the Patriots, the Bills, and the Jaguars. And then our easiest games are the Saints, Falcons, Dolphins, and Ravens. Now, I believe that's based on record, not so much anything
Ravens
else.
are right.
So of our remaining teams, what do you think? Where do you think we shake out as far as total wins go?
When do we play the Bills and Pats again? Like, is it
The Bills
resting
is the
start
final week of the
territory?
season. I think the Patriots is the second to last week. Is that right?
Yeah,
Matt?
that's
That would-
correct.
That's going to be the thing that annoys me the most, right? And that's what it's set up to do. So we're going to lose most of these games. We're going to beat the Saints. They're playing the Ravens this week. We're not beating them. Then we play the Falcons, right? So we're going to beat the Falcons. Sucks. So I think the Falcons and the Saints are teams that we win. Is that what you said, Matt? Who did you pick?
The Falcons and Dolphins games were the 2 wins that I had.
Yeah, I think we're going to beat the Falcons, Saints, and Dolphins as well. But here's the problem. So that gives us 5 wins, which, depending on what happens, it gives you, you're in that top 5 talk, but maybe not. That could
I
easily
think
put
5
you,
wins might get you 7 to 10.
Yeah, that's what it could very easily be what you just said. So the problem is we're going to get into that back end of the season, and hopefully we get that 2-3 wins. So now we're at 5 and we're looking at teams that should shellac us, but they do a resting starters thing and we squeak out another 1 or even 2. And then look at us. We're a 7-win team with all this hope and we fucking blow it. And that's what we've watched the last few years. I mean, it's the same exact formula. So I don't know. I mean, look, Tyler, how did Shock look this week?
I didn't watch
wasn't
him.
able to watch.
People from what I've just sort of heard seem optimistic. Like maybe there's a chance they don't pull the trigger on a quarterback this early if they're like
Good. Don't.
Yeah. But I mean, how and I'm just asking for.
They were on the bye. They their last game.
Oh, okay.
He played well against Carolina, and they won 17-7.
So they had a bye week. Okay. Yeah, I was looking to see if he followed it up. All right, and I'm only asking because I'm curious as to if they look like a team that's sparked and will beat us. Because I think they're one of the teams that we're just going to beat. You know what I mean?
yeah, the Saints strike me as a team that's on the uptick and might be a little
That'd be
more
nice.
difficult for us. The Dolphins and
'cause it's
Falcons
weird.
feel very winnable.
Yeah, because it's weird to me, like I've told you guys, I'm fully 100% on board with the AG train. I'm sitting there, I'm in the fucking dining cart. You know, I'm in the dining car. I got coffee, I got a fucking strudel, right? I got my notebooks open. I got the old New York Post. I'm doing this, you know, with the paper.
Shaking
I'm
it
doing
out.
that. Right. I'm sitting on the AG train. I'm heading in. So if they're gonna win games, they're gonna win. Like, it is what it is for me. I'm not doing tank versus not tank this year. For me, just for me. I'm not judging anybody on either side. Because I've been on Team Tank. It's funny because the tanksters are mad at me this year. It's crazy. I've been fucking way out front of Team Tank for the last almost 15
Decade.
years.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
you know
so
what I mean?
long.
Since we've known each other, I've ended every season since we've known each other firmly entrenched on Team Tank, right? So this year I'm a little backed off of that, and everybody's mad at me, you know.
It'll shift
but-
as we get to those final like 2 weeks of the season. You like
That's
kind
different.
of you've ironed out exactly where you think you're going to be, and it's like, okay,
But-
this win's going to knock us back
Yeah.
3 fucking picks. Like,
If you're
Yeah.
2-13 with the number 1 pick going up, you know, into the last 2 weeks against New England and Buffalo, obviously very different, right?
Right. You don't want to fucking win those games. Yeah, man. Well, that's the thing. And like what I want to say, so like I'm letting go, but I can't help my natural tendency. Like, I do want to see good games, and I'm gonna root for wins, and I want to see 𝐒𝐿 Mitchell hold on to the ball, and I want to see Mechie, and I want to see, our young defensive guys kind of, show up and all. I want to see it. But I can't help it, man. I still want to lose games. You know what I mean? Like, it's just who I am, because I want that pick. I don't want to have I don't want to have the discussions that we're having, which is, are you willing to trade first round? Like, how great would it be, Ryan and Matt, for that matter? I'm just, but to actually have the number 1 overall pick. No, you're gonna get the quarterback of your choice, and we keep all the other firsts and seconds.
that's the
Oh
dream.
my god! You know what I mean?
Start a
Like
fire
a
over there.
fucking gremlin. But that's the thing. It's like we're never in the position to have all of our stuff. Like, we're always, like, us as Jets fans, we are always in a position that if we want something, we gotta pay. Like, we never just get something. You know what I mean? Ever. And that's why it's so frustrating. But again, like, we're also evaluating, we talked about it last week a little bit. We're also evaluating our offensive coordinator, our head coach. Tanner Engstrand, Mooj, I think, has done a damn good job. Like, he's quieted my questions for a little while. Like, what he did all throughout the season with the trades, Briggs and Phillips and Brownlee, and then also, obviously
Mitchell.
the Sauce and the Michael Carter and the Quinn. Like, from my vantage point, he got above max fucking value on everything. And I think what he's done and how he's done it, I'm not questioning now whether or not he can manage the draft on day 3 in particular is still a question. But and I'm nervous like everybody else. But like, we're still evaluating our coach and our offensive coordinator. We're still trying to see, and I would like to feel like they're making steps. So it's a tough position to be in, But I do catch myself, like, towards the end of the game going, like, if we lose, I'm like, all right. Yeah. Like, I was rooting hard in that Pats game. I wanted to win that game. But at the end, I wasn't necessarily crying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't get upset with the loss. You hope to be competitive. You want to see some positive things. And if you happen to lose, okay, that's fine.
Right.
That's exactly where my head's at. I don't really want to trade up. Big game we were talking about just a little bit ago. If you look at the top here, Vegas, they play the Browns this week. The Browns sitting right in front of the Jets. Let's go to... So the teams we really got to look at. If the Giants have the same amount of wins as us, they're going to fall behind the Jets. So the Jets would be up at 4. If we assume the Giants and the Jets both lose out the rest of the season, Jets wind up picking ahead of the Giants, unless like the strength of schedule gets a little wonky and it
Drastically
becomes
changes.
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now our strength of schedule is weaker than the Giants. So right now we're really kind of keeping an eye on all these 2-win teams. And even honestly, the Rams owning Atlanta's pick is like a pain in the ass because the Rams could very much jump up for a quarterback. They're the team that has given away picks in the past, never had a first-round pick for like 6 years or whatever it was. That I could definitely see them going up to make a move for one of these quarterbacks. Vegas, I think with Geno, they're definitely going to be looking for a quarterback. I'm not necessarily sold that they're going the draft. Like I could see them go with like a Kyler option as well. Cleveland, I kind of like Tennessee in the one spot if we can't get it because I feel like we could at least talk with them to trade up, where some of the other teams maybe less so. So when we look back at remaining strength of schedule, let's go to the teams in front of us now. So the Browns, they play the Titans, the Raiders, and the Bengals. Those are 3 games that the Browns have an opportunity to catch a win. I think that could happen. The Steelers, depending on what happens with Rodgers, could also be a win. If that fractured left hand keeps him out for any stretch of time, I don't know like when they play these teams other than like I know Cleveland and Vegas plays this week. And then the Raiders, they have the Giants, the Texans. I don't know how the Chiefs are somehow considered an easy opponent.
You could have fucking 4 wins and have pick 13. It's just insane. What is this bullshit? Somebody's got to be. Who do we talk to about this?
There's no middle ground. You're either awful or really good this year, right?
It's crazy, Matt. I don't get it, man.
The nice thing about the
4 and
Saints
12 used to be top pick.
Look at this Saints schedule. They got the Titans, they got the Jets, the Falcons twice, and the Dolphins. So I feel pretty confident that the Saints are going to be picking behind us. Like I think they could pick up 2 or 3 wins in their schedule. Atlanta, I mean, let's say they split between the 2 of them. That's 1 win each. That kind of pushes Atlanta a little bit further down. That would give them, I believe it's 5 wins is where they'd be sitting. Or are they at 3 wins right now? And then the Saints would, if they pick up 1 win, they fall behind us because they got 2 wins at the moment. Is that right? Yeah, Saints have 2 wins.
Yeah, they
Saints have 2 wins. Atlanta has 3 wins. So Atlanta jumping with a 4th win would drop down. New Orleans drops down. And then we got to look at basically I guess it would be the Giants. Giants don't really have that many easy games. I mean, Washington without their quarterback, without Daniels is winnable. Raiders are definitely winnable. McCarthy, if he could figure it out at all, I feel like the Vikings game should be a little bit more of a challenge. Yeah, he has not been good. And Dallas, just on what they did to the Raiders last night, I feel like is still going to be a tough out for them. Tennessee seems the most likely to get the number 1 overall pick. They have the Saints, the Browns, and the Chiefs. I don't know. Again, I don't understand how the Chiefs are considered an easy game right now. But between Browns and Chiefs, like I don't see Tennessee winning another game. Like we probably have to hope that Tennessee beats the Saints. And even then, I don't know if that even... Oh, yeah, if that would get us. If we lose out and the Titans can beat the Saints, then the Jets would have the first pick.
Oh,
there is a path.
Yeah, I mean, we need Cleveland to win a game. That's really the only other the hitch in there. But we need Titans. That's the rooting guide. Browns beat Raiders. Titans beat Saints, and the Jets lose out, and that's our number 1 pick.
But if they get to 4, where do we think that lands them?
If we get to 4 wins, yeah, I think it's. I mean, it's tough because there's so many remaining games left. So let's just kind of go. Titans maybe 1 win. So I think they're most likely to get the first pick. They'll have the a 2-win record and they're sitting there. Giants, I think they're a better team than 2 wins, so I feel like they should catch a few here. Cleveland has a few winnable games that could happen. Saints have a few winnable games. We have a few winnable games. It's tough. These top 3 teams, Arizona could be looking for a quarterback. The Rams could be looking for a quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty confident. I think it was like was it a 80 or 70% chance that we wind up with a top 5 pick? I feel like I saw that somewhere on Twitter recently. And I think it's only like a 13 or an 18% chance that we get the first pick. And I think it's just because I think we do, like we've talked about. I think we win a few games.
I'm pulling it up. It's the projected draft order. The Jets have, oh, geez. Okay. So the Titans have a 44% chance at the number 1 pick. The Jets are the next closest team at 18%.
Okay.
The Jets have a 76% chance to be picking in the top 5.
Okay.
And a 98% chance to be picking in the top 10. That's what this says. So
let's
based
assume a top
on-
5 pick. I feel like that's like playing the numbers. You're sitting in the top 5. Let's say if we're sitting at number 5, and these are the 5 teams in front of us. It's Titans, Giants, Cleveland, New Orleans. I mean, I guess the mock draft that they have currently is Fernando Mendoza and Ty Simpson going 3 and 4 to the Browns and the Saints. Dante Moore, I think a lot of us are thinking he's probably going back to school. It'd be great if we could have 3 of these top quarterbacks sitting there, because then I wouldn't even move. I just sit there and just wait for the quarterback to fall to us at that point.
There would be a lot of movement. I think if the Titans and the Giants finish with the top 2 picks, I think both teams are opening up the phone lines.
Oh,
I agree. I think there's enough for people to jump up. But if
and sell to the highest bidder between Cleveland, New Orleans, the Jets, and the Raiders. There's 4 teams right in a row after the top 2 who could all use a quarterback.
And that sucks because it's going to raise the price. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know?
yeah, that would be a bad situation. But then you also have, there's a lot of the fan base that does not want to trade up for a quarterback. Like 50% of our poll question doesn't want to trade up, in which case you're sitting tight. So let's say quarterbacks go 1-2. The shitty thing is if Cleveland or the Saints want to move up for their quarterback, the top non-quarterbacks still wind up going to the Titans or the Giants. Like, that's what's kind of irritating. And then you wind up thinking, okay, well, what other direction could you go? I don't know. If the Jets are sitting at 5, Matt, how are you feeling at this point? You want to make the move up to number 1? Let's see what do the points work out to be?
It would, yeah, we could try to play this game. Yeah, I think you consider it, right? If you have a strong feeling about one of Mendoza or Simpson, if you're lukewarm on them, I would say no, just wait. But if they have a strong conviction on either of those 2 guys, but I'm curious to see how we would have to do this, right? I'm sure it would be both 1st-round picks, one of the 2nd-round picks, and then probably something next year, I would think.
So I don't know. I guess this was updated the 12th. So maybe they're just assuming. Yeah, because we had 1 extra loss, so we were a little bit higher. But has the Giants? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's say the Jets have the 5th pick. That would be 1,700 points. To get up to 3,000, you would need an additional 1,300 points, which would be basically your other 1st-round pick and probably next year's first next year to get up. And that sucks. I don't want to give up 2 firsts to get either one of these quarterbacks. I would give up.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I don't know
You're
if I
on.
like that.
Look at NYJ.
This one doesn't
You
even
put it-
have our pick in the
it's
2nd
fucking
round.
weird. It's untrustworthy right now.
Yeah.
No,
It's missing all our 2nd-round picks.
Missing everything.
Let's
Everything.
see
Don't they
if there's
know?
another-
Don't they know that we're obsessively already looking at this shit in fucking November? Don't they know?
they're not. These websites are not built for the Jet fans. They
No.
don't know what we're like. We were checking in October, man. 0-5.
Right.
We're looking at the draft board.
They're
Still,
like, why
still
isn't this
points.
updated? They're like, wait a minute, you're awake? What are
Yeah.
you doing? Why are you looking at this?
So point wise, I mean, we're talking numbers, right? So to go from 5 up to 3 or 5 to 2, you're talking giving up, your other first and a high 2nd at the least to get up to 2. So it is definitely important for the Jets to lose some of these games here and be able to
Well, good
Lucky.
news. They only have 2 wins on the season, right? They're 2
This-
and 8 through their first 10 games. So
This is true.
chances are they're going to lose a couple more.
So let's say quarterbacks go the top 2 slots in some capacity. And then the next 2 are probably Jordan Tyson and one of the edge rushers, whether it be Arvell Reese or Ruben Bain. That leaves the Jets sitting at 5, and I don't love that. That does suck.
That's tough.
Like maybe there's a receiver you really like. I know there's a few in this draft. Dom, I think, was saying he likes 4 of them.
So let's say the quarterback. So let's say we're at pick 4. We can't get up. We can't. And, we get leapfrogged. And so Mendoza goes 1, Ty Simpson goes 2. We don't feel good about any other quarterbacks. We're sitting there at pick 4. You got pick 4 and pick 30, let's say. Are you open to the idea the quarterback's not there? Are you open to the idea of sliding back a little bit? Maybe somebody's calling, they want the top edge or they want the top receiver or whatever. You open?
Yeah, I would listen for sure. I think if we're in a top 4 is where I feel a little more comfortable, because then I think you can get one of Arvell Reese or Jordan Tyson or one of the top 2 quarterbacks, and I'm sitting pretty. 5 is kind of a no man's land for me right now.
I don't want Reese.
Really?
I don't want him. I would use him as a leveraging chip.
Mm.
I'm still way early, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm like, but I don't know, man. I'm not into it. I'm not into this whole thing.
Honestly, I think I would just take Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver, and then feel really good about my wide receiver room going forward.
You would just stick there and like, no more games. I got enough assets. Let me get.
But
the guy.
who's your other pick? Because if we're sitting 4, Tyson may go 3. Like if the quarterbacks go 1, 2, is there another?
And then
player
you're saying then Tyson goes 3.
Tyson goes 3. Is there a 4th player that you're like sort of interested
Well, fuck
in?
me, I guess.
Right? Like that's where I'm at. Like if you don't
They
want
had a good
Arvell Reese,
plan.
then what other position?
I missed that first part of the equation.
Yeah.
Then
like
I'm
some other
probably
receivers may
more,
go up higher. Like Carnell Tate may wind up, higher on the list.
then
I
maybe
agree
I
with you.
slide down.
Receiver's a big one for me.
Maybe slide down, but like not very far, still in the top 10, and take Tate.
Yeah. I do
I
like
think that'd
that.
be the play then.
If you could shift down and pick up like whether it's a first next year or an additional second this year to just slide back a little bit and still get a receiver. I mean, I have no intention of going corner, but this is almost my last name. And I feel like I would have to get a Delaney jersey if he wound up on our team.
Cool.
I don't want to trade. I don't want a corner in the first round. Let me be very clear on that.
No way.
No.
No, it's fucking gotta be offense. I'm not having it unless it's a middle linebacker that makes people afraid to be alive.
Yeah.
Well, so
Green wants 2025 Brian Urlacher or nothing.
That's it, man. Yeah.
do you think like Reese? Have you just not watched enough Reese, or is it just you don't want Reese?
I don't like it. Yeah, well, I haven't watched a ton. I have watched some. I don't like the positional value. I'm not there right now. I think if we have anything like at least tier 1, that's what we have, right? Depending on the defense, because I think that what's his name's going to be out this year. What's our defensive coordinator? I can't believe I'm spacing out on his name. Yeah, Wilkes. I think so. We don't know what defense. So there's all that kind of stuff aside. But I think I don't like these guys like the crazy athletic guy that can do 100 million things. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I'm getting from him. So anyway, again, I'm very, very early, but I think the main thing for me is offense, number 1. Number 2, I just think if we do have a position that's, we need people. I don't want to see any more fucking Clemens, but I just think that's not where I want to go. And if he's attractive enough. So if I do want to trade back, that's a guy that I think people would, if it's within striking distance for them. I think that there are teams that will be willing to do that for a player like him. But anyway, yeah, it's not the route I want to go. And if we get sucked into that, it's too exciting for fucking, ultimately we are a defensive team, man. You know what I mean? So we've seen it before. It's like it happened on the reverse side with Warren Sapp. Rich Kotite as the GM. Dick Steinberg just died. And so we had our head coach, and he was the GM too. And he said it. He said, I couldn't pass up on a player like that, Kyle Brady. Couldn't pass him. He was too attractive to the offensive mind, you know? And I think the defensive mind, like, even though I have hope, I really do. Like, them trading Quinnen and Sauce and Michael Carter, like, to me, it said, look, we took our main defensive names, talent, and all, and we put it on the table. That shows that, you know, they're not like stuck in their defensive thing. My hope is that they flip that and they use a lot of those assets for the offense. Dude, it's 2025.
Yeah.
It's time to join the NFL. You know what I mean? And be an put real effort, focus, time, resources into the offense. Like, for real. So yeah, it scares me a little bit.
Ablab also comes in and says, have you guys seen Darian Mensah at Duke? He's him.
Yeah, Dom C. That's Dom C's boy.
Yeah, he likes him a lot.
Did you see UVA just fucking squash him, Ablab? Yeah.
There you go.
I have not watched enough of him to formulate an opinion yet. I watched, I think it was not this past week, the week before's highlights after Dom was talking about him. But I'll do a little more digging. James says, how many other teams have the capital to move up? So that's the other thing we can look at is draft power rankings. So right now the Browns have the most firepower. They have number 3 and number 19 and 38. So those 3 picks would be better than the Jets' 3 picks right now. Jets are sitting at 5, 28, 36, 45. So our top 4 picks are more valuable. I shouldn't say are more valuable, but we have top 4 picks that are very high. Our second round pick's actually higher than their second round pick. But we would like the Browns to win a game. That's the Browns are the team that have the most amount of leverage when it comes to that. I think we're the only 2 teams with multiple ones. Rams do 2, number 8 and number 29. They've got 2. And then outside of that, is there anyone next year with multiple firsts that we know of offhand?
What was that?
Is there any?
I know the Jets have 3 next year.
Oh, yeah, we took because we have Dallas's. Dallas would have had 2.
Yeah, well, we have. I love, dude, you got to give it to Muji. He got that trade to say next year, whoever's higher, Green Bay's pick or your pick, dude, that is some real fucking forward thinking, man. Like, you would think you just take the first, right?
Yeah.
No, he put it in there. I want the best of yours or Green Bay's. It doesn't matter however it shakes out. We're talking a year in the future. He's already, I don't know, man. That's it's like getting AD Mitchell in, like getting 2 firsts for Sauce should have been enough.
Yeah.
But getting AD Mitchell on there, even if he doesn't work out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you just see, right? Like you
just see, right?
Flyer.
It's like, I don't know, man. I gotta tell you, like the extra seasoning he's putting on my dish. It's like, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. Like, I think I don't think it's getting enough, like hubbub. That little wrinkle in the trade, like,
and not even just AD
really,
Mitchell,
really
but like
something.
Briggs, Phillips, Brownlee, like all these trades that he made it was the idea of we're essentially drafting a guy with a year or 2 less on that 4-year contract, and we're going to get an opportunity to see what it is for a late round pick. Like I'm right there with you, Bean. I think it's some great value aside from just the draft picks that we got.
Yeah, like that, just putting that stipulation in there, however next year pans out, however next season pans out, we get the better of that first round pick. So like, let's say hypothetically, Dallas fucking wins the Super Bowl, but Green Bay collapses and gets the number 1 pick. We get that one.
Yep.
It's like, dude, like I'm in a conversation with Sean McAteer in the chat just about the confidence with Muji.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, and he's saying his concerns with, and like, but like, and I'm just saying, like, I hear all that. Like we've talked about it ad nauseum. Like his day 3 last year in the draft, we didn't know what the hell was going on. We're like, this is a complete shit show. We hated it. And we don't know that, and we'll see what's going on, Malachi Moore and the crew, right? We don't know. But when you look at what he's done since then, and even the free agency period, I didn't like that either, right? Like Brandon Stevens looks like he's settling in. That's nice. But he didn't do all that well in his initial free agent. But since then, like his offseason didn't stop. Like he's continued to kind of move the roster and make trades and cut and add and he's done what he's done since the season started, I think is significantly better than what he did when he first landed here. Don't forget, he didn't have his scouts yet. Like he's still working with Joe Douglas's team by and large. So like, we got to give them this minute. This is what happens when you hire a new GM, particularly a rookie GM. So anyway, I think these, like when you're looking for whether or not to like or have confidence in our GM, look at the things we're talking about. Ryan just mentioned it. Like Briggs, that Briggs trade is something else. Briggs and Phillips and Brownlee trades are slam dunks, dude. Like, and even if, not like, we didn't just trade and get us an all-star quarterback. It's not like that level, but these are really strong trades. But then with the big trades, Quinnen, we're talking about, he put in there whatever team is doing worse, like whatever pick is higher, we get that one. That's an amazing stipulation. And then with the Sauce Gardner trade, getting a fucking second round wide receiver from last year's draft, too, not this one, but the year before. Dude, that's amazing. Like it really is. Whether or not he works out, that's a different story. We don't know. But dude, we traded Sauce Gardner for 2 firsts and a second, if you look at it through the right lens. It's really impressive, I gotta say.
I like seeing this, and I like thinking about it. Like the draft gets me all sorts of amped up. It's like unfortunately the only thing we have to look forward to every damn year.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we have 1 million picks now. This is what it's going to be the next 2 years.
Sure. I love that we can hate watch both the Cowboys and the Packers at the same time, because I consider Dak and Jordan Love both quarterbacks that could catch a freak injury, and all of a sudden that pick winds up being a top 10 pick. To Green Bean's point, being able to get the higher of those 2 picks is really, really savvy work by Muji.
I don't think we've ever seen that before. We haven't seen that kind of a stipulation in the trade.
Not that I remember. No, I don't. It's tough for I feel like we haven't traded with teams that have multiple ones. It's been like, oh, you get the higher of the 2 rounds or something, where it's like, it'd be a first or second based on X stipulation, not so much like a straight up win loss. You get the better of the 2 picks scenario.
Yeah. But like you said the perfect word, savvy. It shows another layer to it. Like Maccagnan, right? Like, don't forget, we had 5 drafts of Mike Maccagnan.
Too many.
Mike Maccagnan never did anything that smelled like this. Like it was the opposite. Like teams looked at the Jets as like slapdick. And there was that one story, and I'm going to butcher it, but Mike Maccagnan was trying to make a trade, and just a useless trade. And he had a team on the line, or they had another, and somebody else called them and they said, hey, we want to make the trade. They called Mike Maccagnan and said, hey, we're going to do this instead. You still want the trade? And he said, yes. Like, again, I'm butchering it, but the way that the GM told the story, it was like, what the fuck is this guy even doing? Like, they just took a free pick was how they looked at it. Like, sure, we'll take your pick. Like, that's what it was. Like, there was that one year, I think it was the second to last draft. He moved like 4 times in the 4th and 5th round, and all he netted was like 10, 15 spots in the 5th. He moved multiple times, and the net was a 15-spot jump in the 5th round. Like, he's a fucking mentally defective imbecile, And we had to deal with that. And now you got a guy that's squeezing the lemon for everything it's worth. Again, the A.D. Mitchell throw-in is it's beautiful. And then that stipulation in the Quinnen Williams trade, guys, we're not talking about it enough. You know what I mean? It's like there's all kinds of other noise. Like I mentioned it last week, and we talked about it. on the down low, like low key, 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐜 in a throwaway season in many respects, reshaped our wide receiver room right before our eyes while we were all looking at the shiny things, Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, Michael Carter, all this kind of shit. And meanwhile, he fucking flipped our entire wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Huge. I mean, think about how, like, if you had told me before the season that we could get 𝐷 Mitchell for what essentially amounts to nothing, right? Like, you would have taken the 2 first for Sauce anyway. So it's like, oh, would you take 𝐷 Mitchell for nothing? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Team.
Yeah. What's the worst that happens? He stinks and you say, all right, we'll cut him.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't really want to take reps from Lazard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rico the Pup has an interesting comment in here, but I don't think it's accurate. He says, what's interesting is that because we get the better of the 2 picks, those picks are locked. They can't be used for capital and trades until the end of 2026. That's probably why it's rare. I think we could move them. I think the Cowboys
but
and
the Packers and the Cowboys can't.
Correct. Well,
Yeah,
the Cowboys have
that's
both
exactly
of them.
right.
The Cowboys have both of them, so they can't move either one. We could move. We could say, hey, we're going to give you a first. We just don't know what it's going to be yet. It's the higher of those 2 firsts, and I think that's fine. It's no different than what we just did.
Correct.
Let's see, what else are you guys talking about in here? If Brady Cook gets a chance and performs well, why can't he be the stopgap bridge quarterback to start next season? Because I don't think he has enough NFL knowledge. Like, I want a guy that's been around the league and, like, can show some of, like, the nuance. Like, Gardner Minshew has been around the block. He's been there when he got pushed out for Trevor Lawrence. He got, sent to Philadelphia. Did they take Hurts after they traded for him? Was that how that worked out? It was like he had a weird path for a few years there prior to his time with the Raiders and now the Chiefs. I don't think Cook has that interesting of I don't know what he provides to the quarterback room. I want whoever our bridge quarterback to be is a guy that our rookie can sit behind and say, oh, this is how you handle a press conference. Oh, this is how you prepare for a game. Like, Cook, to me, regardless of how he plays, is just not providing the intangibles that I would want from the stopgap quarterback. Matt, your thoughts?
You hit it on the head with the last thing you said. You would also need a veteran in there too, because Brady Cook would have 1 year as the 3rd quarterback for most of it to pass on that knowledge to the young quarterback. Like, I think you would still need a veteran too.
Bean, any thoughts on Brady Cook potentially being like the bridge quarterback?
Well, and I think, I get what Mike's saying here, like, why not? I think here's why not. Like, Ryan really nailed it, but don't forget, he's an undrafted free agent rookie, so there's a couple things that says to you, right? A quarterback makes it all the way through the draft process and doesn't get picked. That doesn't mean he's guaranteed to fail or anything like that, but it just means that there's a lot for him to work on. So here's the reason. You have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and all these other guys, and if you commit to that, like, he's limited no matter how you slice it. So if you make that, like, you get into bed with Brady Cook going into next year, more than likely when the shit hits the fan, there's nowhere to go from. Like, so he's your choice. You're really putting everything else on hold, potentially on hold for another year, when this is already that year after these guys have done this for the last 3 years or 4, you know what I mean? So, like, now you're essentially asking them to buy in a long shot. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's very easy to kind of lose the house with a decision like that. That's my opinion on it.
Sharon says Nick Harbor, Malachi Fields, big wide receiver with speed. Nick Harbor. Have you guys watched Nick Harbor at all from South Carolina? Guy's an animal. Not a crazy ton of stats, but just a big motherfucker. and strong too. Dom says his best position would be tight end in the NFL, but like I would totally take a swing at him at some point. I don't know where he shakes out. I think Tankathon's big board doesn't have him very high. They have him
What's his name again?
Nick Harbor.
He is listed on
147
NFL
on Tankathon.
NFL Draft Buzz has him as like a late second round pick, which I feel like that seems high, but
I think he'll end up being like a DK type wide receiver. He'll blow up the combine. He's going to be top of the second, I think is where he shakes out.
Because he is an absolute freakazoid. His measurables 6'5", 235. The 40 time listed here, which obviously he hasn't run it, is 4.24, which is 99th percentile.
That's absurd.
Even if he runs in the 4.3s, that is
for that size. If he runs
absolutely
4.5, that's stupid fast. Like 4.3 is nuts.
What did DK had a stupid time too? I'm pretty sure, right? What was his 40 time?
I would have said 4.4. Did he break into the 4.3s?
Let's see if I can find it.
Was it his cone drill that was like a little
4.33?
4.33. That's so fast.
Yeah, so that's a good comp, right? But his height and his weight was 96th percentile, his height 86th. So that's essentially your DK Metcalf comp. If he runs in the 4.3s, then he is going to go a lot higher than wherever Tankathon has him at 147.
Yeah.
Can he catch? That's the key.
Let's see what his
You know what I mean? Like we do this
drop
thing.
rate.
Yeah.
Let's do.
I'm curious. I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm very curious.
I have no idea.
How fast is Arian Smith? He's in that conversation, right? He's in that range, isn't he?
Yeah, all our guys are like
Arian Smith, for context, ran a did he run a 40-yard dash?
Yeah, Arian Smith was a
4.36.
Yeah. I
So
think
that's
Mitchell
Arian
was
Smith.
still our fastest. I think Mitchell's 4.33.
Yeah, 4.36 Arian Smith.
Yeah, so 80 Mitchell's a 4.35. Arian Smith is a 4.36.
So look at Nick Harbor's last few games. He's got a touchdown versus Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. That's a pretty solid little run right there.
That is a nice run. What's the can you see drop rate? I can't read it. It's too small on my screen.
Yeah, let's see.
Might have to scroll over.
That's what I'm trying to do. Drop rate 11% is what he's listed at.
Okay.
What's the appropriate drop rate around these parts?
In college, I don't know.
11%.
It's a little. So he's got a 10 on his career. He had a 3.7 last year. He had a 20 the year before that. But how many?
20? Oh man.
20. Yeah, he had a lot of drops, but he only had 12 receptions on 20 targets 2 years ago. So that's kind
Arian
of
Smith's last year. I'm trying to pull that up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where's receiving? Here it is. 17.2. So not as bad as Arian Smith's, but 11.2 is a little high.
But this is a guy that you could, like, if you were waiting till the second round, I feel like he's kind of in your wheelhouse for us. Different size wide receiver. Interesting player. I'd be down with it.
Yeah, I'm big on this catch thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Seems important, Green Bean. I'm with
you
you.
know what I'm saying, Matt? Like we get caught up in these, in the speed is always out front. And what do they say? You can't teach speed. We can teach everything else, but you can't. Yeah, I'm with it. We got Arian Smith. He runs a 4.36. You got 80 Mitchell. He runs a 4.35. You got John Mechie, who didn't in the combine, so his RAS score, he didn't do that. His pro day I'm looking at was a 4.48. So he's also fat.
DK Metcalf's final year at Ole Miss, 10.3% drop rate.
Okay, so about the same.
He's 1% off of DK.
What was Arian Smith's drop rate?
17.
4%. 17?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like this thing, like, all right, speed we got, which is going to be really neat. Like if we do find a quarterback that can capitalize on speed, like imagine having a guy who's so fucking fast that he's an actual deep threat and having a quarterback who can use it. And when the ball goes up and the guy's got 2 steps on the defensive back who's just struggling, please, Jesus, he's doing that behind him. He's got 2 steps behind him. And the quarterback throws it. And when it lands near the wide receiver, he catches it. Can you imagine what that would be like? Like to actually have that collection of events, speed, a quarterback that can use it, not like where they're running and he doesn't have to stop, like slow down for the ball. You know what I mean? Like one of those. And the receiver actually catches it, guys. Can you just think of a world? Why can't we have that?
So I'm curious how Lenora Sellers is doing this year.
Why can't we have that?
Where's his adjusted? So his adjusted completion percentage is like 72. So he's got a pretty decent accuracy. His last few games that Harbor scored in, not great.
Yeah, I honestly think he would be better off going back to school.
It sounds like that's where he's probably headed. Unless there's just going to be so many good quarterbacks coming out next year. If Sellers thinks he's going to be, which I think if he came out, he'd probably be a top half of the first round pick.
He would, but are we going to do this again after just going through Justin Fields and we're going to take the crazy athlete and hope we can teach him how to pass?
No, I'm not saying for the Jets necessarily.
Yeah,
I mean, if we wind up needing the third quarterback, he's probably it. It's like we're in a weird spot of like which quarterbacks could come out. So like if we're talking Mendoza, Simpson, most likely to come out. Moore probably going back. Sellers probably going back. Mateer probably going to go back for another year. And then Nussmeier maybe being like the next best guy. Does the USC kid come out this year? Is he?
Yeah, I think he does. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up as the third quarterback.
Yeah, rises up a little bit.
What's his name?
Jordan Mailata.
Oh, right. Where do you see Mensa going? He's going to come out now. Is he going back to school?
Mensa they have at number 138 right now, but that I would imagine that'll change. I wonder how many of these guys are like seniors. Oh, he's a Tulane guy.
Aren't we all planning to go down to Mobile this year?
We were talking about it. I don't know if
Let's
I'm going to be
all
able.
do it.
Hey, it'd be super fun.
Stop it. Let's go, Ryan. Bring the kids.
Hey, let's go down to Alabama. There's going to be so much for you to do.
Let's go to Mobile, Alabama, kids.
My wife would kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely kill me. I wouldn't mind going down for a little bit if I could swing it. Like being able to see the quarterback. Like if Mateer comes out, he's probably the one I would really like to see. Is Mendoza considered a senior? Is he?
No.
So he's only got 2 years. Yeah, the Cal then. Is it true he was going to go to Harvard? Did I hear that somewhere?
Oh.
Before he wound up going to Cal, he was like possibly going to Harvard. Like this is like the cerebralness of him.
That I can't speak on. I don't know.
I feel like someone mentioned that yesterday. I did not fact check it, so we'll have to.
If it was said on the internet, it's got to be true. That's what I've learned.
That's what you know what? If I don't fact check it, it's real in my world.
Dude, I saw Michael Jackson steal somebody's fried chicken at a Popeyes in the video. It was very real.
Yale, not Harvard, is what they're saying. Could have gone to Yale.
Yale. Okay.
That's pretty dope.
That's cool.
Yeah. Mendoza just ticks off all the boxes. Like, I really want to find a way to get him. Like, if the Titans have the number 1 pick and it takes us this year's first, our later first, and next year's second, if we could swing that to get up to number 1, I'm cool with that. Because I think Mendoza is worth the trade up. God, I just want to feel confident that we can sit and pick. Really badly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I really want that. And you know what I want? I want to feel this is what I am excited about. I feel
Let's hear it.
like when the court, like this is the first time in a very, like, look, when we think back to Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, like when they came here, we didn't have a team. I actually feel confident. Like when we brought Mark Sanchez in, you looked around the team, we had this fucking offensive line that was like, bring it. You know what I mean? Like Nick Mangold, Alan Faneca, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and the rest. Who was the tackle?
Damian
Cologne.
Woody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was like, we had Thomas Jones, as the fucking running back, it was just like, you knew. And like, as soon as he landed here, it was like this, our defense was stacked. It was like so like since then, it's the first time I feel like we still got some pieces, don't get me wrong. But I feel like if we get a Mendoza or a Simpson, like, and those are the two guys that I'm zeroed in on right now. But again, it can all change, guys. Don't hold me to it and whatever. But I feel excited about the idea that, like, if we do get this quarterback, that they're landing in a position that's like we have the opportunity, if the quarterback can play, to actually start and instantly be a competitive offensive football team. And 𝐒𝐻𝐿, I like some of the shit he's doing, and I do feel like we're limited right now, and we're kind of stuck, you know what I mean, with the Justin Fields stuff. And I don't know, I'm just excited. Like Matt, like Ryan, you just said, if we just get into a position, like when the season's all done, and you can look, and we're in that, like, gosh, I just said gosh, golly, if we're at pick number 1, like, that would take so much like stress off my off season,
You just know it's like, oh, quarterback. All right, what do we do with the second first round pick?
Who's our guy? That's the only question. All we would be talking about is like the quarterback versus quarterback all off season. That's all we would discuss.
Tampa Jets fan comes in and says, how about quarterback in the second or third round if you miss out on Mendoza or Ty and draft another need in the first round rather than trade up? Yeah, I mean, I think you consider that. Dom and I were kind of kicking around the idea of if you were to trade for someone like, like Tanner McKee, and then maybe in like round, 4, or if you slide back a little bit, whatever, if Nussmeier or Allar or Beck, someone in that second round, I'd be cool with that. I don't know if it necessarily deters you from going quarterback in 2027 at all, but it gives you maybe a nice swing to see what happens. I mean, Giants did it pretty effectively this past year, so I'm fine with it. It wouldn't bother me. I wish there was more quarterbacks I felt better about coming out, because if it's like Nussmeier, I'm not like super thrilled with it. Like, I almost would rather use our firsts and seconds at that point on like impact players, and then like take that swing at like Allar late. Someone that could have been a top 10 quarterback that just like, I don't love Allar either though, but
no,
for a mid-round pick,
and
I
Tony's
could live
here,
with it.
so we're sorry, Tony.
Oh no.
Yeah, Tony, I think your scouting on Allar sucks. I'm gonna lay that out there.
Hey, be nice.
No, I
but
think
anyway,
he sucks. I think Allar's not good.
I know I didn't like Allar when he was healthy.
Yeah.
But if he's there in the 6th and we took him, I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Allar's an interesting one. There's a great comment in there. Benji Unger said a comment. He said, everyone's saying Mendoza is just a tall Kirk Cousins. I'd take that in a heartbeat.
100%.
You know what I
100%.
mean? Like, right. I am seeing that. Like, I'm seeing people say, dude, he's just Kirk Cousins. Like,
a more athletic Kirk Cousins.
Yes. Yeah. Fine.
Okay.
Done. I started my whole fucking YouTube channel on the idea of us getting Kirk Cousins. Yes. Full circle it. Like, let's go. First video was Kirk Cousins coming to the Jets.
I'm in. Right, man. I'm in, dude.
Yeah, I'm kind of over the you just got to take the guy with the elite traits who are extremely raw. Because I feel like that's the biggest knock against Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza is like, what do they do that's elite? Well, we just benched the quarterback who was drafted really high because of his elite traits, and his elite trait being rushing the ball, and it doesn't doesn't matter, right? Like, I don't know. Sometimes like the high floor is appealing after all these swings and misses at the high ceiling trait guy.
Right, dude. You know what, Matt? You know what it sounds like? It sounds like you're more in line for maybe a Bloody Knuckles player. You know what I mean?
We didn't pick a Bloody
Yeah.
Knuckles guy
Like
for this week.
somebody who's just plays football. Like
Just
fuck
be a
these
guy.
traits. Can he play football? That's what I want.
I think
Bloody
Mendoza
Knuckles, baby.
can play football.
That's right.
If we took a
By the
swing
way,
on a second
if
round
we have a Bloody
quarterback,
Knuckles guy.
higher, I
Ryan,
don't
you're
have
not-
one on my list.
Ryan, you're not picking up my handoff here.
I know. I'm saying, I was like, I don't know if I got a Bloody Knuckles guy right now.
Oh, I got Bloody Knuckles.
Who you got for Bloody
I have
Knuckles?
some options.
Quentin
All right.
Williams.
Quentin Williams last night.
How about Membu? I would be good with
Hell yeah.
Membu, Fashanu, Titman. Those are would be some potential nominations. Quincy.
Yeah, wait, there was somebody else.
I don't think there's anyone on my immediate thought process that's like, wow, that guy earned that this past week.
Let me take a look here. Hold on. I just need to see names. I'm like fried.
JV says Aaron Rodgers, go Steelers. You suck.
JB Free, you're fucking, you know.
He's going to play hurt this week.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Fractured left wrist. He'll be fine. He's just got to.
He'll be fine. Right.
I mean, he's got to catch the ball. We know he doesn't go under center, so he's got to catch the snap with a broken wrist. That can't be
love
fun.
it.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. They'll give him a bunch of painkillers and he'll just be like, bah, or good.
Perk Rogers.
Throw it.
All right.
Nussmeier in the second. If Mateer comes out, him in the second is the one I really like. I would like to root for him. I just don't. He's got a low floor. Nussmeier, I feel like, has a higher floor, but I think he's got a limited ceiling.
Jermaine Johnson got a sack. We could toss him in there for a Bloody Knuckles.
Jermaine. Let's throw a poll question there. 51% of people said they would trade up for a quarterback.
Close race.
Very close. All right. Bloody Knuckles. We'll say Jermaine. Who else we got?
One of the offensive linemen's got to be in there.
Go Membu. Shanu. Do a little slash action. Bean, you got anyone else you want to throw in for Bloody Knuckles?
No, I think, what was I was going toward, I think it might have been Jermaine Johnson that I was thinking of earlier. Michael Clemens was really good in this game. Michael Clemens, everybody. I think there was one play where I think his ankles actually broke.
Yeah, the touchdown.
Yeah, dude, he is so bad.
I hate that this is still a talking point, man. It's been 4 years.
He actually, you know what? He actually batted a pass. He jumped and actually did that.
Our highest
I was blown
PFF
away.
grades for this week. Harrison Phillips, Isaiah Oliver, Malachi Moore, Brandon Stevens, Jamian Sherwood are the top 5 on defense. On offense, Membu and Fashanu are our top 2. And then Fields, Titman, Mechie, and then Breece.
Put Fields in there. He had 2 touchdowns.
He did.
Throw Fields
And
in
then
there.
got benched.
Give it a little. Go 3 action.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's-
bloody knuckles to get benched after a 2 touchdown.
You know what, man? Right. He's fucking putting it all out there for the team. Got to give it to him.
You know what I feel like
That's
we
the
should
feeling,
show?
man. What
You
did they
guys
nominate
haven't.
that guy
You
in?
want to head over.
You
Bite
know
into a
what?
Dick
There was
Burger
that
shirt.
There was that great stat that came out. Yeah, the Dick Burger shirt. It's so great.
Have the Jets left a bad
Yep.
taste in your mouth? Bite into misery with the Dick Burger shirt.
there was that stat. What was it that we have the lowest offensive like yards per game or something like that since 2022? And it happened to be the Bears with Justin Fields as quarterback.
Oh, that's good.
That's
I
not
forget.
great.
Somebody knows the stat. Put it in the chat. I know one of you guys knows it. I heard Jake talking about it. But yeah, it's crazy. I think it's yards per game or some shit. But like the lowest in the NFL right now, and the lowest in the NFL since 2022, and that happened to be Justin Fields the last time that it was this low. It's just he is what he is, people. You know what I mean? He is what he is.
Dan Carson says, you think a trade for Stroud is on the table? 2 1s. I think if it is, I'm down with 2 1s. I could be.
How is he playing though? Why is his name out there? What's going on?
Let's see.
He got banged up this year. He hasn't
got no
looked as
O-line.
good.
But why is he like trade bait, Matt? Like what's this? Like what is it? Why is he in the
He's got to get paid.
conversation?
Yeah, they got to make the decision on it if they're going to pick up his 5th-year option with him or what. I would think they probably do it. I don't. Maybe Houston feels differently, but I would still hold out hope on that rookie season. I know it's 2 years ago, but they just got to figure out that offensive line, which they have somehow made worse year over year with him.
Yeah, if he becomes an option, if we can't get Mendoza or Ty Simpson, CJ Stroud, I feel like is the way you get Breece to like sign. But again, I just don't, like we brought up before, like what does Houston do? Like what's their game plan if they get rid of Stroud? Like I feel like there isn't one.
They don't have one.
Like it's different if you have like a top pick. Like let's say you could get one of the top 2 quarterbacks and they're sitting there and you're like, okay, do we want to go the rookie route or do we want to go the CJ Stroud route? Like then at least you got some options. I still like the idea of going quarterback, but Stroud is 24 years old. Like he's got plenty of tread left on the tires. And you've at least seen him in the NFL. I don't know. Benji comes in.
Yeah, I don't want him.
Benji joins the OnlyFans. Thank you, Benji.
Welcome. Milk the thumbs.
Milk 'em. Milk thumbs. Jester says we'd have to pay Stroud a fortune. No way. Yeah, I mean, you got to pay quarterbacks. That's kind of what it is.
That's how it goes, dude.
Yeah, and paying one while you are not really paying anyone else is kind of fine. Like if we're gonna wind up drafting a rookie quarterback and have all this money to spend on no one. Like that's essentially where we're kind of at right now. It's not like we're paying the next guy up on our roster. Like maybe you want to retain your 2 edge rushers, but I'm not even sure that's a given. I hope they hang around.
Yeah,
I got them under contract for next year at least.
Want me to give you guys some names from last week's in
Yes,
the
sir.
timestamps, Green Bean?
Yeah, man. Hold
Let's
on.
go some timestamps.
We are light tonight, man. I only have 10 right now.
Damn.
I could add another. I'll add one of these guys too. Hold on.
Someone wants a Dick Burger shirt.
And it's
All right,
me.
go out, Matt. I'm ready for you, bud.
Okay. Andrew Ram is up first.
Okay.
Gangrene 44. Peter S.
Nice.
Sing Sing. Eric Craig. And that's it.
Nice. All right. So I got one here. Rico the Pup is going to be the final one from the chat tonight. All right.
So how many we got?
What's our Benji? I didn't add Benji. Hold on a second here.
What's our total head count?
Oh, no fucking way. What did you just do? What did you just do, Bean?
Command Z.
Why?
It's undo.
Didn't do it. Hold on.
Control Z? Are you on PC?
Yeah, if you're on Windows, it's Control Z.
There we go.
I have used that hotkey so many times since figuring it out. I use it almost as much as I use like copy paste.
All right, I got 17.
17. All right, chat. Give me the third number, 1 through 17. Throw numbers in the chat, 1 through 17. I'm going to pick the third number that pops up. 4, 14, 4. 4 is the number, Green Bean.
Number 4 is RTS 2490, everybody.
RTS 2490. Let's see what you get. Oh, he gets a hat. We could probably make a Dick Burger hat if you want a Dick Burger hat. Or you can get a green beanie or something along those lines.
Hats are underrated. You know what's interesting though? My
hats are nice.
My beanie.
I like
beanie,
that.
This one, I love this fucking thing. But you know what? It's a little tight for my abnormally large cranial cavity. And it gives me a headache after about 30 minutes.
Really?
My head's so big.
You gotta stretch it. You gotta stretch it out on one of your pots.
Yeah, you got
One of my what?
to put it on like a
Turn
soup pot or something.
down. Yeah.
Really? Is that how you do it?
Oh, yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing it. That's great.
Yeah,
Actually,
I've
I have
never
that
heard that.
statue back there. I could put any like tight hat on top of the marble statue.
Yeah, it's I noticed it the other day. I had a fucking pounding headache, and then I took this off, and I was like, ooh.
It fixed it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's nice.
There you go. So RTS 2490, reach out, jetstalk247@gmail.com or talkinjetshow@gmail.com. Get us your shipping info and pick out either a ball cap or a green beanie, and we'll send it out to you. Thank you guys so much for playing along. Boys and girls, we've reached the end of our stream. Let's go around and give our closing thoughts. Bean, any last words for our panel?
Hey, everybody. We're going to hang out a little while, about 30 minutes from right now over on the Green Bean channel. We'll just continue to talk about things. We'll see what comes up for the After Hours Jets Fest. Come hang out.
O'Leary, how about you? What's going on? Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Pause real quick, real fast.
This week's Bloody Knuckles.
Who is it?
Fashanu/Membu. Double Bloody
Nice.
Knuckles.
Nice. They'll share it this week.
Love it. Sorry,
I
man.
love how they're one person now.
Yeah, they could be. It's tackle. Team tackle.
Team tackle, baby.
Team tackle. Hey, it's working. Look at the Raiders. They took the tight end and running back, and they can't block anybody.
They can't do it.
This is true.
Yeah, dude, Geno Smith was getting destroyed.
Oh, yeah. Matt, this is your
I'm
last
putting it
sign
in.
off from a Talkin' Jets channel stream.
I know. I'm going to be a new
getting
man.
married. Yeah.
New man in a few days. Very excited. I'm very excited to see you guys in a few days. We don't get to see each other that much in person, so looking forward to that. And the game on Sunday might not be pretty, but we could do a little recap action of the wedding next Tuesday if you guys want.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Boys and girls, it's been a lot of fun hanging out with you tonight. We are going to be trying to hit the dance floor so hard at Matt's wedding on Saturday. We're super pumped on it. But we'll be back here Tuesday, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, talking Jets. And I'm sure we're talking a few draft picks, or maybe we're going to talk a upset win over the Ravens. Who knows? But we'll be here for you, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. This is Talkin' Jets, signing off. JETS.
Just go somewhere else. I can't take this nonsense anymore. How are you going to blame the defense?
I got the pouch. Screw green bean. Damn it.
But once you get to the sausage, I feel like we're doing something.
Go Jets.
Ow, my head! No, come on.
What would you give up to see a Jets Super Bowl?
All of my friends and family.
Hit those milk thumbs, boys and girls.
Freeze run.
Hold on to your underwear, ladies, and stand by, bitches. It's now time for Talkin' Jets with your hosts, Matt, Ryan, and Green Bean.